Hey everybody, welcome. This is Golden Nugget number 5. 5, 5, 5 is a star. 5 is the pentacle. It is 5 fingers, 5 toes. It's our body. You know, you've got a trunk of the body, and then you've got the head and the 2 arms, 2 legs. So you're like designed. The archetype of your body is designed like a star. So basically, the star is all about excellence. The star is the symbol for excellence. It's an icon for excellence and for courage and strength and just being really awesome, formidable. So there's that. We're going to celebrate our stellar nature, and there's also there's a lot on all these numbers, but the other image that I thought I love to play with a lot is the spiral. So there's so many shapes in nature that are in the spiral, and of course we can use our yoga practice as a way to move energy and currency to spiral into ourselves, into the center, to source, into a place where there's calm and steadiness and clarity. So we can think of the spiral as a way to move into that place of being at the eye of the storm. All right, let's practice. We're going to start in the star shape. It's called pentacle. So lie down on your backs. Stretch your legs long and bring your feet off of your mat so you have more space between your legs, and stretch your arms off to the sides. And so here you are on your back, and you're in the shape of a star. And your hands are like a shape of a star, so unfurl gently the fingers from the palm. You could think of your hands like leaves, like a maple leaf. And you can just be here right now and radiate excellence, the excellent you. You can also receive, just like a leaf will receive light from the sun. Reconnect or connect with the breath if you haven't already, so you have a conscious breath, a gentle restriction in the back of the throat. That sound of the breath, like oceanic waves. Good. Now very slowly you start to bend the elbows and the knees and bring everything into this little Apanasana, little ball shape, a spiraling in. Lift your head and your shoulders, your tail, give yourself a little squeeze, and maybe some rocks forward and back. So we have some movement moving through. Pause, and then again extend out through the fingers, through the toes, all the way out through the crown of the head. And then slowly pull yourself together, gather yourself up into this little shell. Lift your tail, lift your shoulder blades, try to get your forehead to your knees, and then extend it all the way out. My friend and teacher Paul King calls these X's and O's. So again, you're going to pull everything in, make an O, and reach everything out like an X, like a star. Last one, draw everything in and extend everything out. Awesome. Then bring your knees into your chest, hands underneath the knees. You can just rock a few times to come up to a seat, or you can turn to your side and come up. So we're going to sit here, simple cross-legged. You can always sit on a blanket or two. The reason for that is to give you a little bit of leverage. So you feel popped up, you're a little closer to the stars, and you don't feel like so heavy and weighted down through your pelvis. Right hand behind you, left hand on the right knee. Really consider this centering energy right through the middle. It's implicit, you can't see it, but you are taking the time to come into contact with it. And the way you do it is really through your imagination. You're going to spin around, all the way around, looking over your right side. Keep trying to bring your chest a little bit more forward and the tailbone back. So you have the wave, this crescendo coming up through your body. Nice. And then we're going to try the other side. Right hand to your left knee and left hand behind. Inhale right up to the center line and exhale, spin it around. Good. And you're continuing to articulate it, to navigate a bit. So you're not just holding the pose or holding on or holding and waiting it to be over. You're learning how to keep the energy moving through. And that's part of what makes it excellent, is you keep on moving. Good. And then come to the center. Nice. And reach your arms out in front so you see your hands. You want to kind of high five yourself. And open up your arms, express yourself, really open wide through the arms, reach your chest forward, then rock back on your tail like you're hugging an imaginary tree. And you open up your arms and lift up through your chest and then rock back. And this is also really great to warm up your spine, your pelvis. So do a few more of these. Expanding, contracting, opening and looking up towards the sky. Think about your relationship with the sky, with the cosmos. Beautiful. And then come up right into your center, interlace your fingers and reach your arms up over your head, framing your head with your arms. Little bend to the right side, plug down through your left sitting bone. And then come up to the center and bend to the left and reach down with your right sitting bone. Good. And then up to the center. Let's change our leg position here. So you're going to undo the cross-legged and come up onto your shins. And if possible, you're going to try to tuck your toes under, get your ankle bones together. This is awesome to increase the pliancy and the flexibility and the movement in your feet. So again, the tail is behind you and your lungs are forward. You've got these waves and curves and spirals that you're playing with. And of course, that illumination from your more stellar nature, which is when you use everything. Reach your arms up over your head, interlace your fingers behind your head and point your elbows up and look up. Lift the corners of your mouth up. If you ever want to know how to do advanced yoga, you do everything that you're doing on your mat with the smile, with a genuine smile. So a very relaxed and easeful, almost effortless energy. Good. Okay, release the arms down. Beautiful. And then we're going to come onto our hands and the knees and just spiral around clockwise direction, looking forward and out. Go in the counterclockwise direction. Just kind of smoothing out any sort of rough edges here. Nice. And then plant your hands down. See the star-like quality of your two hands and lift your hips up, downward facing dog. So you can always stay on your hands and knees. You can also choose to go to a child's pose. You can also, if you really want to build some heat today, you can go to a wall and do a handstand, which is like an upside down tree pose. So many ways to express excellence. All right, good job. Now we're going to walk our hands and our feet together. So you're in a forward fold. Separate your feet hip distance and let yourself just drop your torso down and let your legs really support the lengthening of the spine. So you're not having to like use your back so much and shove your back down. You're actually using the strength and the energy and the stability from your legs. Now bend the knees forward, walk your hands forward so you're up on the fingertips. Your fingers look like little twinkly stars, and walk over to the right and look forward and out to the right. Keep pressing the knees forward and your tailbone back. So you're really learning how to move from your center in multiple directions at one time, being really even with your energy. So you're turning on, you're lighting everything up. Go to the left side. Good. Try to get out of the heel of your butt here. So you have to bring more weight forward, bend the knees more, and lift up. Like from the backs of the knees, you press down, and from the backs of the knees, you also lift up. And then find a little back bend. Beautiful. And then come to the center. Let everything fold, hands behind the back, interlace your fingers and lift the wrists away from the back. Deep breath. Hear yourself breathe. Shift your body weight forward. Make sure you're not pinching or scrunching your toes, that the toes look really contented. Hands to the back. Let your arms dangle, and then use your legs to slowly come up to stand. Good. All right, so here we are standing. Open up your feet like one leg width distance apart, and then stretch your arms off to the side. So now you're doing the same pose we started with on the ground, pentacle, but you're doing it standing. So here you are, star, standing star. Good. Find the radiance and the illumination behind you and to the sides of you and in front of you. Then place your hands on your thighs, bend the knees forward and fold forward. Grab a hold of your ankles if possible. You might have to bend your knees quite a bit. Shift your weight forward. Tip your tailbone up and slowly with each breath fold in a little closer. It's like you're folding this piece of paper, you're folding the star in half. Good. Release from your ankles. Place your hands out in front. So you use your hands to help you handle this, and you're going to go all the way over to the right. Lower your left knee down. Untuck the back toes and lift your arms up. So you're in a lunge and a back bend. Interlace your fingers behind you, your head, and point your elbows up. Another opportunity to have a connection to the stars, the sky, the cosmos, nature. Inhale the arms up, exhale the hands down, and then back your hips up. So you're kneeling on the left knee. The right foot is flexed and you're bringing your torso closer. Reach your arms and your fingers out further. And so you can really amplify, you can animate, you can create volume. That's also part of, thinking that you're in your stellar nature when you're in the eye of the storm. You just have a clearer mind, clearer perception, and it's a better place to make decisions from. Lunge it forward, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and travel low all the way to the other side. Tap your right knee down and tuck the toes. Use your legs and reach your arms up. Interlace the hands behind your head. Try to even lift your left heel up a little bit and point your elbows up. Find your back foot again. So you can even think about these 5 places that move off of the trunk of your body that actually need your brain. They need your awareness as you're practicing these poses, it'll give you the embodiment, this feeling of like, oh, I am fully awake in my body, right here, right now. Release your hands down, and again, glide your hips back, flex your front foot, walk and stretch your arms forward as your hips go back. Deep breath. So nice. And then we're going to lunge it forward. From here, tuck the back toes and step into a downward facing dog. Glide it through to a plank or an up dog all the way through, and then back into a down dog. Or option to stay for 5 breaths in a dog or another handstand. So you can either move it through, you can stay in your dog, or move into an inversion. And that's also your stellar nature. It's when you're able to really be in that position of choice. You've got possibilities, and then you choose. Really trusting yourself. Lower your knees to the ground now from your dog. Open the knees as wide as your mat. Sit back onto your heels. Child's pose. Forehead to the ground. Deep breath. Let's walk our arms over to the left. And then place your right elbow down, make a fist, stay low. So you work more from the hip joint, from the pelvis and not the back. Then reposition your torso to the midline, and then you're gonna spin around the plumb line. Getting around the storminess, the doubts, the worries, the sticky places, the places where we get stuck. You're learning how to actually get around it calmly, with steadiness and clarity. Good, and then come to the center, walk to the other side. Again, try to stay low. Take the elbow and place it down just about 6 inches in front of your right knee, and then make a fist, the right hand over the fist. Reposition your torso in the center. A little bit of a back bend will help you get around and feel like you're kind of emerging at the same time. So your back doesn't feel so heavy or hardened. You actually feel pliant and malleable. Really nice, everybody. And let's travel to the center. Again, fold. And then walk your hands to your knees. We're going to come up onto the knees here. Open up the knees and the feet a little wider than your hips for camel. Hands behind you. Lift up through your chest and come back. So you're opening up the front of your body, your potential. You can tuck your toes under and reach down so your hands go over your heels. That kind of contact will help stabilize you and help move the currency through the circuitry. Supporting your back to come up, and gently sit down onto your heels. Just place palm over palm. Take a moment, receive. And then we're going to try a rabbit pose. So this is another posture that puts us in this like a shell, or that image of us spiraling into ourselves. You always want to spin into yourself. You don't want to get spun out. And that's that same energy of feeling like I'm the eye of the storm instead of like being thrown around by it all. Hands to your heels, and that's the gift of your yoga practice, is learning how to do that. Chin towards your throat, roll all the way in, forehead to the knees, crown of the head to the ground, eventually hold the heels and lift your hips up. Keep a hold of those heels, knees and the tops of the feet pressed down. Very little weight in the top of your head. Pull your shoulders off of your ears so the shoulders go down. Draw the belly up and in. Eventually the thighs are perpendicular to the ground. You're opening up your spine. So nice. Beautiful. And gently, gently reverse your steps. Come all the way up. So nice, everybody. Now we're going to come off of our heels and then take the feet to the left side. The feet and the knees sort of splay up to the left. You can flex your feet. Right hand behind you, left hand on your right knee. Inhale, reach up. So it feels like you're rooting down, but you're also coming up and out at the same time. And another opportunity to turn, to spin, to spiral yourself, to know that you have spirals within you. So to get out of the thinking that everything's a straight line. Nothing in nature is a straight line. All right, and then release. Just lean back onto your fingers and flip your feet to the right side. Now your right hand goes onto your left knee and the left hand behind. Inhale and exhale, come around. And also to think like you're not like just trying to get to one destination. You're exploring yourself. You're discovering, you're seeing, you're heightening your awareness, and you're making contact with your center. Beautiful. And then come back. Awesome. Now we're going to bring ourselves long onto the mat into a rounded plow. So you can come down on your back and you could start, with a happy baby. Another idea is legs up on the wall or even a prop underneath your pelvis. You could put, a sandbag on your eyes. All of that is going to help you come home to yourself, really come into a place of calmness and availability in the inner realm. There's another idea here to try a rounded plow where you lift your hips up. The hips come right up over your shoulders. And I just rock a little bit so I know that I'm on my two shoulders and this back of my skull. I'm not sitting or putting any weight in my cervical spine. And then the knees widen, so the knees go into the armpits, and I find a fit, and when I fit myself, then I could go out and fit the world. So number 5 really celebrates your own transformation. It's saying, I know how to go in, to use everything I've got to find my stellar nature, and use it well, and then go out in the world and help others. So it's always nice to stay for some breathing time and to have different patterns and different counts to help you be accountable and help you to complete your pattern. So you can inhale for 5 counts, hold it for 5, exhale for 5, hold it empty for 5, and you could do that for 5 minutes. You can even set a timer. These get better and better with practice. You'll want to stay longer and longer. I'm going to invite us to finish our practice, though, right where we started, and then the pentacle pose. So the legs and the feet go out wide, the arms go out. You unfurl the fingers, adjust your shoulders under, close your eyes, and right away the image of a star. A star, you could think about a starfish or a leaf or fruit has this shape, like if you cut an apple, you see the shape of a star. There are all kinds of stars out there in nature, and you are You are natural. You are excellent. So why don't you just put your right hand, give yourself a high five, or put your right hand on your third eye and like you're going to put a gold star on yourself and just say, good job. So you achieved something today because you practiced yoga, and that's a wonderful drop in the bucket. You got a little gold nugget in your jar. So thank yourself. Thanks for practicing, and have a stellar day.